Shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakat Kadash forever, man. Salvation to the elect, I would say double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, honors to all the brothers in this truth, man. Do you know that these men have atomic nuclear cannons? Man, look, you gotta be crazy. Look, Esau ain't tough, man. But he is tough, you know. Hey, you gotta be crazy if you thinking about picking up the sword and you're thinking about picking up the weapon that Esau was blessed with and fighting against him, man. That's not our way of fighting. You know, even if you feel like you tough, you from the streets or whatever, man, your best bet, the only way that you gonna survive this thing, because that's what it's about, is survival. Because a lot of people about to be wiped off, man. The point is survival, you know. But the thing is like, if you want to survive, your best bet is turning to the Lord, trying your best to keep the law, statutes, commandments, and having faith, man. That's your best bet, because you ain't gonna make it if you picking up the sword. Look, remember that saying where it says you live by the sword, you die by the sword? That's real, man. You can't. Esau has shit that you don't even know about, man. Literally. Not just. See, the thing is, they could fly a jet and they could drop a nuclear bomb on you. They dropped the atomic bomb on the Japanese. You know, on Japan. They could send. They don't even have to have a man jet fly over. They could send a drone that could drop the nuke on you. What you gonna do? Shoot the drone out the sky with an AR-15? But they got cannons, man. They could shoot a cannon at you. And you could be in the bunker all you want, man. They could shoot a cannon at the door and blow the whole door down and come get you. So y'all talking about picking up swords? You can have 100 men. You have a 200, 300 man out there, all black like the NFAC, and y'all all got AR-15s and stuff like that. They shoot this cannon one time and everybody dead, man. Everybody dead. They got mini guns that they could shoot off helicopters that could chop down trees out of forests. This is just the stuff that I know about. This had interested me because I didn't know that they had nuclear cannons. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to have a drone, a jet, a cannon. They could just shoot it out of silo. They got different range missiles and stuff. Short range, medium range, long range. If Esau could hit a person on another continent, what make you think you and 300, 400 man like the NFAC going to do anything against this man? He can have drones. Like, remember that movie? It's The Purge. I forget which one it was. It wasn't the election day one. It's The Purge. Like, it's probably called The Last Purge or something like that. When dude and his whole crew was about to go, the Israelite dude, the so-called black man, and his whole crew, they were about to go protect the apartment complex because Esau was rolling up in there to start slaughtering people. But what happened is, right before they went in there, they all had their guns. They all was getting ready. They was outside. They was by the car. But right before that happened, a little bitty drone came that shot a gun and killed most of his men. And he was the only one left. Just like that. He had probably like 10 to 15 men out there, and they all got killed because the drone flew over them with a little minigun on top of it, shot and killed all of them. And he ended up scooting under the car, so he survived. And he had to go in there by himself. They got stuff like that, man. They got stuff if you're on the water, torpedoes, submarines. They got all type of stuff, man. They could just spray chemicals out the sky with little chemtrails and come down on you, and all the air around you is contaminated. Now you can't breathe, and that all your 300 men is dying because you're choking on the air that you have to breathe. Man, y'all better get real, man. Y'all better return back to the Lord and stop playing. That's your only hope, man. That's your only hope. You can't take down Esau with the blessing that was given to him. Let's find that. That's in Genesis 27. Let me find what verse real quick. Over here, Genesis 27. I'll just start at verse 39. No, verse 38 to give you a little bit more context. And Esau said to his father, "Hast thou but one blessing, my father?" Because he gave a blessing of the kingdom to Jacob. You know, that's why we have that blessing. We always have that promise, right? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac and his father answered, and and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So this means that Esau will rule the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So the heavens, the skies, he gonna have dominion over that, which he does. And by the sword should thou live. The sword meaning just weapon, by any type of weapon that you use. That's he lives by the sword, man. That was his blessing that he got from his father, from the Lord. And shall serve thy brother. And it should come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Because at one point in time, especially you go back to the Moors and stuff like that, where everybody loved to talk about. And if you go back to the kings of Israel, like King David and all stuff like that, we had rulership. We were on top, man. But Esau broke those cords, and then he was let loose, and he came back with a bang, and he got his blessing, which was to rule the earth and to live by the sword, which is what he do today. And that gives you an indication of who Esau is. Who on earth at any time in history has ruled the whole earth, the heavens, the skies, have dominion over that, and they lived by the sword? You will have to say the first person on your chart should be the number one military that the earth has ever seen since it's been here. The number one, other than the Lord, but the number one military power on the earth that the earth has ever seen, which is America. They have the number one military, the number one economy on earth that the earth has ever seen throughout history from the beginning to now. So that should give you indication of who Esau is, man. He's a so-called white man. And then that's why you have Russia, which is a close second, or maybe even they could possibly be getting to first, which has those same weapons, and because those are all Edomites. Different nations, but they're really the same nation in a biblical sense because they're all Edomites. The so-called white man. That's who got the blessing to live by the sword. Who knows? You take any group out of earth, so you could take the Arabs, you could take the blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics, all that. Take the whites, right? Who knows more about weapons? What group would you look at to say this group knows more about weapons? Who creates the weapons? Who made the AK? That came from Russia, Edomites. Maybe a Jake is the former of everything. That's true. But who made it big? Maybe Jake gave, they stole the ideal from Jake, but who took it and owned it? It's Esau, who knows how to break down these guns? Who know how to make the guns from nothing? Who knows how to, and then you got to go past that. Who knows how to make nuclear weapons? Who has the most nuclear weapons? It's America and Russia. That's what it means when it says he should live by the sword, man. And who's on this video? Man, look, it's Esau Edom. That gives you indication who Esau Edom is. This is 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. So y'all NFAC and y'all black militias and stuff that want to, be brave and go out there and fight. The thing is like, you let Satan get advantage of you because you don't know all his weapons. Before you go to war, this is important too, man. Before you go to war, you have to know what your opponent have. That's why Russia is constantly doing surveillance to figure out how many aircrafts does America have? How many nuclear weapons do they have? What new weapon has they developed? Same thing with America and China. They're all doing their research and their investigations, and they have spies in different cities and stuff like that, where they're doing this work to try to figure out, okay, what new torpedo did they come up with? What new hypersonic nuclear weapon did they come up with? What defense system? Who sold this defense system to who has what? That's why America's having this problem with Iran, because they're trying to go over there and figure out, okay, do they have nuclear weapons? Do they not? We want to stop them from having nuclear weapons. Okay, North Korea is always on the news every other week. North Korea has developed another nuclear weapon. They say they can hit Chicago. Stuff like that, because they're constantly, because you have to know what your opponent has, because if you don't, then your opponent's going to have an advantage over you. Just like in a boxing match. Before you go into a boxing match, you want to watch tape on your opponent. You want to know what type of punch he like to throw, what type of weapons. Do he got a good hook? Do he got a good uppercut? Does he have a good counter, a good pull counter? Does he have a really good jab? And then you want to kind of study that, and then you want to train yourself so you can have the advantage over him. Now you just picking up weapons with a whole bunch of men dressing in black and saying we ready to fight. You letting Satan get the advantage of you because you don't know what he has, and that's what 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So if you are ignorant of his devices, then Satan's going to have the advantage of you. If you're not ignorant of his devices, then Satan's not going to have that advantage. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. The elect, the prophets, the brothers in this truth. We're not ignorant. We know he has these weapons, even if we don't know exactly what they are. So we not let him get the advantage of us by trying to go fight him at his own game. What we're doing instead is we're bringing the game to our turf, and we're going to fight him in a spiritual way where we know we can win that, and we're going to return back to our Lord, and our Lord's going to come back and physically take him out. Where then we have the advantage because our Lord has better technology than them. You see what I'm saying? So you have to fight to your advantage. But y'all going out there just picking up guns, you really fighting just the Esau advantage, man. And he gonna win every single time if you're being carnal. So that's why this thing has to be spiritual. We have to come back to the Lord. How you gonna fight against this, man? All Edomites out there, man. Look at them. They're not white. Look at them. They're not so-called white, man. His collar is white. Can you see a difference between the man's collar and his neck? Compared to his collar, which is white, what is his neck? It's red. Esau wasted away. His melanin was wasted away. And he came out red all over. This is what it's talking about, man. Y'all better learn this Bible. Look at that, man. Y'all better get y'all shit together, man. And you do that by having faith and keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, man. Look at that. From a cannon. So let's just say you driving down the street and y'all got tanks and stuff, or military vehicles and stuff like that. That's what's gonna happen to your vehicle when they let off that cannon, man. Let's just say y'all was all camped out in the forest, right? Y'all got y'all little posts and stuff like that. Y'all in military formation, the NFAC, and y'all ready to go to war, and then they let off one of those. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen to the whole forest. You can't breathe in that. Ain't no oxygen in there. All the oxygen has been wiped out. There's nothing but fire and smoke. You can't breathe in it. You're gonna die from just trying to breathe if you're not contaminated with radiation. If you're not burnt up first. That came from a cannon, man. A cannon. And the thing is so crazy about the cannon is that where you can have so many planes in the sky, or you want to shoot off these nukes, but these silos have to be apart from each other. You can have 100 cannons sitting right next to each other and barely taking up any portion of land. Just 100 small little cannons sitting next to each other. You can have 1,000 cannons sitting next to each other and shoot out these things, man. Y'all better get y'all shit together, man. Come back to the Lord, man. Y'all need to stop playing. This is time to wake up. This ain't no time to be playing these games, man. Wake up. Keep those laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and always try to learn more, man. Get in this Bible and constantly read so you can learn more that can help you in your faith. You know, understanding helps you in your faith. You know, and learn more commandments and try your best. You know, it's not just gonna be a switch that you just turn off and you turn on this switch and now you righteous and you keep every commandment. It's gonna be a working process, but as long as your heart is there and your faith is there and you're constantly taking steps to better yourself at keeping the commandments and putting yourself in better positions where you could better yourself at keeping the commandments. You know, getting away from friends that might not be in the truth and change it. That's what I mean when I say better positions and better places where it's gonna help you keep the commandments more. And y'all better have faith, man, because all hell about to break loose. You think they don't still have these things sitting somewhere in a military base? Y'all ain't seen nothing yet, man. Salvation to the elect, shalom.